So the next objection, which is interesting to me, is I'm not interested in selling.
That's a tough one, and depending on the circumstance.
Yeah. I mean, is that an objection?
Well, it's certainly raising up a shield. It's slowing the process down. I mean, it depends the context because it's kind of it's a little vague, but usually you wouldn't be getting that. The previous things we talked about, price and I need to think it over. You're gonna get that at the end of your consultation of talking to them on the phone or being in the home across from them at the kitchen table. That one would make sense, I think, the very first time you talk to them. It would be very bizarre if you were in the home for an hour and at the end they go, I'm actually not interested in selling.
Yeah, so it really shouldn't come up at the appointment.
It really shouldn't.
Really should come up in prospecting.
It's a qualification process.
Yeah, so I think we're probably finding this when someone's cold calling or texting. I imagine is when this is coming up. And if you're calling or texting and they're telling you they're not interested, I don't really look at that as an objection. I think this is just kind of like, let's move away.
They made your job easier. They disqualify themselves. Yeah. Don't waste your time on them anymore. If they're telling you in the prospecting stage, I am not interested in this, they just did you a favor and saved you the time of, well, what's your offer? And playing with your emotions, and you start thinking about how much you could make. They just made you money because you can spend your time on other people.
Right. So, Brian Manley, he was a guest last week on Pardon the Disruption. I love the way he put it. We are in the sifting and sorting business first, right? Prospecting is interesting because prospecting is the only activity I'm aware of, that I can think of at least, that's both marketing and sales at the same time. Yeah. Right? Everything's marketing or sales. Prospecting is legit sales and marketing at the same time. And so, if they're telling you they're not interested, that is them doing us a favor. Now, there's a slight nuance here. Let's say it's 4th of July and they fill out a web form. Right?
Right.
But you're grilling, you got people over, and you don't get back to them on the 6th of July.
Okay.
And I'm no longer interested in selling. That's a slightly different one.
Yes, that's quite different. Right. I'm no longer interested implies they might have just had interests.
Right. And maybe they had a blowout fight on the 4th of July.
Right. Yeah, there's something to work with there.
Yeah. So what would you say to someone that's no longer, it's not quite one of the objections that was submitted, but I think that might be more helpful for people listening.
That's true. Okay. So for someone listening, if someone says, I'm no longer interested in selling, let's say you're in a prospecting situation, you've called them on the phone, they were a PPC lead, and you're like, oh, this looks great. Let me reach back out. For whatever reason, I'm no longer interested, even though it feels like this is a hot lead. This just happened. Why are they no longer interested?
Yeah, I mean, they filled out the form. They've told you they want a number significantly before Zillow. They want to sell in less than 30 days. Everything here says this is a hot prospect.
This is where labeling comes into use very, very well, because especially in prospecting, you will get lied to a lot. This is a tough thing for a lot of people to realize that you're just being lied to all the time. Like you might have things are going to be shopped. People are just going to be like, they're busy. And so rather than go, yeah, I am interested, but I'm busy and dealing with that nuance, they just say, I'm not interested because they're busy. That's the nature of being busy. And you go, oh, but this person doesn't want to sell. So there's a possibility there. I would say if it's like, I'm no longer interested and we have information to think that this should have been a lead, I would usually want to assume that means that they've already sold. Or oh, great. Congratulations. You must have gotten a real estate agent and now you're going to list it on the MLS. And I'm doing that because it is way easier for someone to lie in the answer to a question when they're already in a lying mode than to let an incorrect statement sit and not try and correct it, not make the truth be real. And so they will go, well, no, it's not that situation. Oh, okay. So then you must have already sold with talking to another investor and have already gotten under contract. No, it's not that I've already got under contract. Gotcha. Okay. Well, since you filled this out it looks like 36 hours ago, and now you're no longer interested in selling, it feels like I must be missing something.
Yeah.
What changed? Something happened? And because I've already eliminated these other things and they've already opened up a little bit more, by them being honest, correcting two statements, it's much easier then also for them to be honest about answering that question. Because they've just been honest twice in a row rather than being compelled to lie to get you off the phone.
Yeah. So a lot of people I'm no longer just selling. It's like, oh, okay, well, hang up. Or what happened? Like, well, that's none of your damn business.
Right.
Right. So we assume, oh, you already sold your house. No, I haven't sold that. Oh, okay, but you already dealt with the matter at hand. Well, not really. Well, then I don't understand.
Right.
And like, well, here's what's going on. And it's just crazy. People will fill in that blank after they've corrected you.
Because they've been truthful twice by correcting you, that when it's time to ask the question, since it's the human nature thing. It's like if they've already been honest twice in correcting you, it's much easier for them answering that more broader, open-ended question of what's happening. It's much easier for them to be open about that because they were just honest twice in a row. It's like just an easy sort of pattern for human behavior.
If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an upload.